Morning. So today we will learn about research papers. For those who love to get to the root of a situation, a phenomena, a riddle, or simply like to pacify their curiosity for the world around them, research is definitely your cup of tea. While a research paper is a technical aspect of one's scholarly life, I think it is for all those who are thinkers, debaters, or someone just looking for answers. Now, before beginning the topic, let us consider why would you want to write a research paper? First, and most important of all, it is a part of your college curriculum requirement. Second, it is a career shaping requirement. It is mandatory for those who wish to pursue scholarly careers. Thirdly, it is a requirement for project work. Fourth, it is for critical thinking on a subject. So let's begin. We'll the topics covered for this presentation first. What is research? Second, we'll cover objectives of research. Third, what is a research paper? Fourth, purpose of a research paper. Fifth, research methodologies. Sixth, scientific method. Okay, so let us begin with what is research. To put it in a definition, in a very scientific definition, it is an organized, systematic way of finding answers to questions. Now, there are certain characteristics of a research, and to just have an overview, first, it is organized. Second, it is to find answers. Third, there are relevant questions in a research. It is based on validity. Fourth, fifth, it is based on reliability. Sixth, it is unbiased and objective. Sixth, it is controlled. Let us look at them individually. A research is organized when you follow a certain method or structure in doing your research. It is not a spontaneous process. A research is a planned procedure. It is to find answers. The second point, it means research is successful when we find answers. Even if the answer is no, it is still an answer. So finding answers is the end of all research. Research is successful when we find answers. Even if it is no, that means that you have concluded certain phenomena with its true or with it being true or false. It is a successful research as it is backed up by justifications as to why it is not true or true. And the third point is questions. Questions are central to research. Without a question, a research has no focus or drive. It is important that your research question is focused on relevant and important questions which add to the pool of knowledge in your specific field. Fourth is validity. Validity ensures that a research study has followed correct procedures and they have been applied to find the answers. You can only validate your research when your procedures are applicable and verifiable. Now, reliability is a result of validity. It is a quality of measurement procedure that provides repeatability and accuracy. It simply means that once your paper has been published, your reader or reviewer, if takes up the same research and if uses your procedures, will come to the same conclusions as provided by you. This is an important aspect for a researcher's credibility. The sixth point is unbiased and being objective. Now it means you have taken each step in your research in an unbiased manner and drawn each of conclusions to the best of your ability. It is all about keeping your subjective preferences aside and looking at your questions objectively, like an eagle's view from above. Now the seventh point is controlled. In real life, there are many factors that affect an outcome. These factors are the cause and effects of certain phenomena or are called variables. The relation between these two variables should be in control of a researcher so that your research minimizes the effects of other factors affecting the relationship. So, when you set up your research study, you do it in such a way that your variables cannot be altered because of other factors. Now, objectives of a research. If you look into a research study from the perspective of its objectives, it can be first to discover new facts, second to verify and test important facts like those which involve deep exploration about concepts, phenomena, in order to discover knowledge about fields that the researcher has little or no knowledge of. Third, to analyze an event or process or a phenomena to identify its cause and effect relationship. It could be in order to seek new insights or to look at a phenomena in a completely new light. Fourth is to develop new scientific tools, concepts and theories, and also to solve and understand scientific problems. Fifth, it could be to find solutions to scientific and non-scientific social problems. It is largely based on descriptive study about what is prevalent with respect to an issue and how it can be removed. Now, sixth is to overcome or solve problems occurring in our daily life. This is a part of explanatory research which focuses on cause and effect as it attempts to explain a situation and can be solved by changes in variables. Alright, so now we know what research is. So let's see what is a research paper. A research paper is the last step or the final product of an involved process which proves that the findings of your research and its implications are justifiable by using one, a set of philosophy or research approach which consists of critical thinking of the researcher which has been put into words in a logical and sequential manner. It talks about your understanding of methodology in evaluating your sources. Third, source evaluation. This is done to offer interpretations of texts and not just its compilation. Now, this is a crucial part of your paper writing, as here you do not write on assumption about knowledge of your readers, as you must be able to defend and clearly define your resources and its justifications. Fourth and the last is organization and composition. Again, a vital aspect of your research paper. A research paper is focused on finding answers to your hypothesis. Now, what is a hypothesis? A hypothesis is your assumption, or simply to put, it is your research question, which when comes to a conclusion or answer, it should be verifiable by it being logical and by the researcher following the guidelines of research. Now, purpose of a research paper. This is similar to objectives of a research, the only difference being now we will talk about your research efforts being put on paper and its purpose. First, once you have done your research, when you put it into words on a paper, it is not simply to inform the reader what others have to say about a topic, but to draw on, which means to give your inference or conclusions about the topic and its sources. This brings us to the second point, which is the purpose, which is to offer a unique perspective on the issue at hand. So you do not simply put together others' opinions on a certain topic, but also engage your sources in such a way that the reader can enlighten himself with a new revelation on the same topic as suggested in your findings. Third, your research paper has to be based on a hypothesis which should lead to acceptance of a certain scientific truth, and once the truth is established, it should be verifiable by anyone. Now, the fourth and last and the most important aspect of research is to add to the pool of knowledge in a particular field of study, which should aid in advancement of humanity or society at large. And without any doubt, it is a wonderful opportunity to increase one's knowledge in a specific field of study. Now, research methodologies. The research methodology is the foundation of your research process and a crucial aspect of a research paper. Research methodologies are methods used to study a topic of research. So anything that becomes a means of collecting information for your study or acts as your research tool becomes a part of your research methodology. It could be tools such as questionnaires, surveys, measurement, etc. It describes the procedures and data used in a research and how it was obtained. So you will need to decide as to how you are going to collect data for the proposed study as the first practical step of your research. Once you have defined your research methodologies, you serve the following two purposes. Once your paper is written, you first explain and justify the method of data collection and analysis. Second, to justify the research method and approach you have taken. Now let us look at research methodologies in science-specific fields. The first one is the scientific method, which we'll take up for today's lecture. The second one is analytical research, and third is argumentative research. While quantitative method and basic research are applicable to all science-based research, basic research deals with fundamental research with the goal to acquire general information about a phenomena, while quantitative methods display data through tools like survey questionnaires and measurements in numerical data. Right. So now scientific method or scientific research method is evidence-based method of research. You derive data in a systematic way from experimentation in a scientific method. This research method provides scientific information and theories to explain the phenomena of the world at large. So that is that it gives an explanation of the nature and properties of the world. Now fourth, it makes practical applications possible. Scientific research aids in practical applications of research findings so that they are very much verifiable and henceforth become a legit way of conducting science-based research. Now the process of scientific research involves the following steps. The first is basic observation and description of a phenomena. Now before we describe it further, let us compare how each process is important in writing your paper, and as we will simultaneously look at what all is included in a scientific research. So going back to the basic observation, when you describe a phenomena, you opt for certain tools to come to a descriptive conclusion of that phenomena. And what were research methodologies? As discussed in the previous slide, they are the tools you use to conduct your research. So when you observe and describe as the first step of scientific research, you determine your type of research also. and that becomes an important inclusion of your scientific research paper. Now the second point is questions. Why certain phenomena occur. To describe the whys, you need to detail how you collected your data and write it as a part of your research paper. So this is again a very important aspect, the research question. Now third is you put forth a hypothesis. Any hypothesis has its root in the research question, and when you probe further, you find answer to your hypothesis by analyzing your data. So data analysis is a crucial inclusion in your scientific research report. It further describes what will happen or what the outcome of a certain phenomena will be based on your analysis. Fourth, lastly, your predictions have to be proven or disproved by tools of research methodologies like experiments in case of a scientific research. This leads you to your answer in a research paper, which is the end of all research. Now once you have declared your answers, which are verifiable, you ought to give your rationale for choosing these methods of research. Okay, so now that we have finished the scientific method of research, we will talk about analytical research method in the next lecture. Thank you for watching. Please stay tuned for the second lecture on research paper writing.